Elemental opened this past weekend and it did a paltry $29 million. May sound like a lot, but it's nothing compared to its $200 million budget. Why is Pixar falling apart? Well, they are used to having these massive budget films where people are paid well, people are doing well, and they're making loads of money from them, not just on the films themselves, but all the ancillary products that come from that. That is children's movie making.
Interesting.
Well, people will say it's because of the messaging, the LGBTQ+, the woke agendas. Other people will say that it's because people aren't coming back to the theaters, that COVID fear is still real, people don't want to go to public places. Well, I think it is very clear what has happened. It's a little bit of a combination of two of those three. Pixar has become basically low-budget Christian filmmakers.
What?
They're plagued by their message rather than their story. And Pixar, who has told wonderful stories in the past, seems to be plagued just as much of the Disney empire in the message they want to convey rather than the story they want to tell. There's an article in Screen Rant that says, although all the elements inside Element City, they're not supposed to mix, but when Ember and Wade meet, they end up going on an adventure together across the city. Elemental has the most defining characteristics of a Pixar movie, such as its characters going on a big adventure in which they learn more about themselves than others, more fun traditional elements like references to other Pixar movies. Unfortunately, and this is what's revealing, Elemental also continues a bad Pixar record when it comes to LGBTQ+ representation, once more having LGBTQ+ characters that are mostly left in the background. Pixar and Disney have put themselves in a place where they have defined themselves as allies of a political, I would say even religious kind of movement, and because of that, they are judged. When you put yourself out there and you become a representative of a religious doctrine, going to judge you by the moral code rather than the quality of your story. And here you have that exact same thing happening. As Pixar and Disney have defined themselves as allies of these movements, now they are judged by the truth and the commitment level that they are willing to go. Now that turns off people who don't want to see that particular value set or worldview pushed, and now you find yourself in the middle where you either need to go extreme to one side to get this market, or you're turning off the rest of the market. And as you become consumed with that line that you are walking, you're no longer focused on story, you're no longer focused on characters, and you're just putting together rehashed stories and concepts to get another movie out. And when you look at Elemental, as people in the office here have said, it really just looks like Inside Out mixed with Zootopia, and now you have this child of those two storylines. I've not seen the movie. I am actually a victim of Pixar's decisions to become so politically motivated and pushing these ideas in everything that they do. That is the basic thing, is they are acting like low-budget Christian filmmakers who even people in the Christian community are like, hey, you guys aren't telling good stories often. You're just trying to get a message out, and it's kind of boring. But when we are focused on message instead of story, it is problematic for the audience. Those are my thoughts on Elemental. If you have seen the movie, have an opinion, feel free to share it in the comments below. Hope that you guys enjoyed this, had a little bit of an insight for you, especially if you're a Christian artist. Focus on story, infuse your message into that story. Tell good stories just like Christ did in the parables. We love that we've got 11 interns right now over the summer, many of them, most of them from Biola University. Being able to pour into the future creatives in the Christian community is a blessing. We love you guys. We thank you for all the work that you put into these things. And we hope that you go out to change the world. All right, everybody, God bless you, and we will see you in the next video.